So welcome forward to day 10 of our reflections on St. Joseph. And today we're going to be reflecting on two themes that are linked, and like yesterday, these themes also have links with the Old Testament. So the first theme, again taken from the Litany to St. Joseph, is Light of Patriarchs, pray for us. So again, it's the first part of that, Light of Patriarchs. Now we know that in the Old Testament, in Genesis, God created light, and he did that through the sun and the stars, but he also created heavenly bodies such as the moon that perfectly reflected that light. Now in the New Testament, there's a new creation through Jesus Christ. Again, the light of the world. And he also created Joseph, who perfectly reflected Jesus' light. So give that some thought, and we're going to now move on to a second theme, which is, in the reflections, it compares a character in the Old Testament called Joseph, and hopefully you're familiar with the story where Joseph is sold into slavery and taken into Egypt, and because of his ability to interpret dreams, the Pharaoh makes him almost the second most powerful person in Egypt, and he's in charge of storing up all the grain because he's prophesying through the dreams of the Pharaoh the great famine that was going to come. And the Pharaoh is quoted as saying, "Go to Joseph and do whatever he tells you." And Joseph was in charge of overseeing the collation or the collecting of the storage of the grain, and then everybody went to Joseph during this phenomenal famine to stay alive. So the Old Testament Joseph kept people alive physically and fed them because of the famine. Now the link to our Joseph, our Saint Joseph, is that Joseph had to look after the light, which is Jesus, and Jesus is the living bread, the Eucharist, and Joseph leads that to us. He lights up our path, leading us to Jesus, and he still guards that living bread, and with his light in the way he lived and with what he tells us, he points to Jesus and he lights up our path to Jesus, so that we can feed on that Eucharist, we can feed on the living bread, we can feed on his body and blood, and feed us spiritually, because we live in a world that is, there's a famine, and it's a famine of spirituality and morality. So now, just to end this reflection, again there's a lot to think about. I'm going to finish off with just reading from the book of reflection, which I think sums up why we need to be increasing our devotion to St. Joseph in these modern times. And that was a question we did reflect on in an earlier reflection. So just to read and to finish. Today there is a worldwide spiritual and moral famine on the earth. Souls are dying because of the lack of spiritual nourishment. Hearts are broken, marriages are ruined, lives are destroyed, children are murdered in the womb, and truth and common sense are in short supply. The spiritual and moral famine in the world is devastating every nation, laying waste to humanity. There is not a single country left that has not been affected by it. What are we to do? To whom can we go to find nourishment for our souls? Go to Joseph and do whatever he tells you. And Joseph, being the light of patriarchs, will lead us to Jesus, And Joseph, being this perfect reflection of Jesus, will light up our way to Jesus. And as Mary said in the Gospel according to John, do whatever he tells you. A lot to think about again, and I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.